last one. The last one didn't have such good audio, and so I'm gonna do this one a little bit better, hopefully with better audio and somewhat better details. So I'll start off the same with externals. Magpul, no PTS, AAC flash hider, also with the suppressor that I don't have on here. This rail system is not the real steel Giselle. This is actually a Dytac. I know somebody asked me in the last video that I had. This is a Dytac replica of the SMR rail. Pretty much identical. It's just slight differences from the real steel, but quality is good enough for airsoft. To put this rail in, you will have to modify the gas block. So you have to sand down the bottom and then cut the loops off on the side. There's the loops on the side of the gas block. Those have to be gone. So you can either do that or just remove the gas block completely. I just left mine in there. My custom pack box. I say custom because I changed out the bulb for a 1000 lumen light bulb because the other one sucked. Magpul rail adapter, RVG mount, 551 EOTech replica, and then for mags I use Lancer, SOCOM Gear Lancer L5 Advanced Warfighter mags. They're 190 round mags. So it's like shooting a high cap, but it's a mid cap, so it works for me. Kept the same pistol grip because I don't see a reason to change it. It's more comfortable than the Magpul grip to me. I have an ambidextrous charging handle, like the Rainy Arms replica for AEG style, and then buffer tube wise over here I chromed out my buffer tube. It's kind of stiff because I did that one out. And then since the last video I have changed to the Magpul STR. I was actually looking for the CTR but didn't end up getting it. STR is just as nice. Looks like the CTR but mixed with a crane stock, and I kind of like it. It's very comfortable, and you can put batteries in here and whatnot, and then put more smaller batteries in here. Alright. And let's move on to the next one. Alright, internals. For internals hop up, I have the ProWin hop up with a Prometheus bucky and an Orga inner barrel. Because I have the ASCU Gen 3 Plus, I had to find the right motor after blowing out 2 of them, unfortunately. So I went with the Lonex A1 Titan motor because that's what was recommended to me. And then for LiPo, I since then changed down to a 7.4 1.4 milliamp LiPo. Alright, down to the actual Katana system. Let me split this up real quick. Now for the actual Katana system, lower gearbox. Modifications I've done to this one. Well, on the outside of the gearbox there's pegs or extending parts right here where this scratched up area is at. Same thing on the other side. Simple. I just sanded those down with a Dremel. And then the same thing right here. There's a spring release system that's located right here, and at first I try to save it, but in the end it's really not worth it. So in the pictures I'll post at the end of the video, you'll see that it's sanded off, but I took it off completely. It's completely gone. But I think that's all I did for the lower gearbox. And then for the gears, I have SHS 13:1 ratio with SHS shims. Now when you put new gears in the Katana system, you do have to short stroke the pickup tooth, because a piston used for the Katana system is shorter than normal pistons. Let's pull it out. The lower gearbox, the cylinder. You can see that right here, those were grooves that I could not fit it into the upper receiver, so obviously I had to sand them off, and they're completely gone. The only reason this part is sanded off was because I originally had tried to do it with an ICS lower, so you have to make this skinnier. Internally, open this up. It's a good seal, so it's hard to open. Now you can, for these you can AOE just like you would AOE any other. I think the only difference is the sorbo pad that I use, which is located right here in between the piston body and the piston head, on what I will call the piston rod, which is that stick in the middle. And you use any sorbo pad that you would use for any AOE that most techs use. I think the 1/2 washers. There you go. Cut out, shave down the last tooth just like any other AOE. Change this to an X-ring. These are good for shooting on semi, which I shoot all the time, semi only. And for people asking how to take this apart, pretty easy. Just take this off. It pops right off, and then inside is a star screw, and over here on the end of the rod is a flathead. So basically hold one end and twist off the other. Somebody did ask about if I had to do any internal modification to the cylinder. No, I didn't touch the inside of this at all. The only thing I did touch was the piston body. This is a PTW system of PTW piston body from King Arms. There's a few other than this one. Yeah, there's a few other than this one. Here this HSS, which is probably cheaper, and then the actual PTW piston. The only modifications you do need to do to this is, you see these screws right here, is the inside. You have to make it wider. So I took a filer and just filed in the inside of it, and then assist us on the 120 spring. I think that wraps it up for this. Yep. So if any questions, comment on the bottom of the video or hit me up on Facebook. Just look for me, Jose Rosario, or Jose Manuel Rosario on Facebook, or PMC Havoc on Instagram, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. I'll try to include some more pictures at the end of the video.